Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Tonight, I am reading from the poetry of Oscar Wilde, and I'm very ecstatic to do so because Oscar Wilde is one of the most famed gay men poets and authors, and he died in a very horrible way in prison because of fighting for who he was, essentially. So tonight I'm going to read a few selected poems of Oscar Wilde's. Since this past Monday was Mother's Day, which was a rather depressing holiday for me, with a mom who has passed on and a grandmother who has passed on, a grandmother who raised me after my mom died. It was a bit depressing, but moving on to a poem that was sort of motherly that Oscar Wilde wrote. It's called Madonna Mia. A lily girl, not made for this world's pain, with brown, soft hair close braided by her ears, and longing eyes half veiled by slumberous tears. Like bluest water seen through mist of rain, pale cheeks whereon no love hath left its stain, red underlip drawn in for fear of love, and white throat whiter than the silvered dove, through whose wan marble creeps one purple vein. Yet though my lips shall praise her without cease, even to kiss her feet I am not bold, being overshadowed by the wings of awe, like Dante when he stood with Beatrice beneath the flaming lion's breast and saw the seventh crystal and the stair of gold. The next poem, which tends to reflect more Mr. Wilde's homosexual side, I believe, is one poem called Wasted Days. A fair, slim boy, not made for this world's pain, with hair of gold thick clustering around his ears, and longing eyes half veiled by foolish tears, like bluest water seen through mist of rain, pale cheeks whereon no kiss hath left its stain, red underlip drawn in for fear of love, and white throat whiter than the breast of dove. Alas, alas, if all should be in vain, cornfields behind, and reapers all a row, in weariest labor, toiling wearily, to no sweet sound of laughter or of lute, and careless of the crimson sunset glow, the boy still dreams, nor knows that night is night, and in the nighttime no man gathers fruit. So those two poems were very much similar. It was just one was about a woman, and the other was in such a way as to describe a man. Parts were still the same, but parts were also different. So now, also, there are further poems by Oscar Wilde. He was not just an author of stories and prose, he was also a poet. So I will now read another poem. It's called The New Helen. Where hast thou been since round the walls of Troy the sons of God fought in that great emprise? Why dost thou walk our common earth again? Hast thou forgotten that impassioned boy, his purple galley and his Tyrian men, and treacherous Aphrodite's mocking eyes? For surely it was thou who like a star hung in the silver silence of the night, didst lure the old world's chivalry and might into the clamorous crimson waves of war? Or didst thou rule the fire-laden moon? In amorous Sidon was thy temple built, over the light and laughter of the sea, where behind the lattice scarlet wrought and gilt, some brown-limbed girl did weave the tapestry, all through the waste and wearied hours of noon, till her wan cheek with flame of passion burned, and she rose up, the sea-washed lips to kiss, of some glad Cyprian sailor, safe returned from Calpe and the cliffs of Heracles. No, thou art Helen, and none other one. It was for thee that young Sarpedon died, and Memnon's manhood was untimely spent. It was for thee gold-crested Hector tried with Thetis, child that evil race to run. In the last year of thy beleaguerment, I, even now the glory of thy fame, burns in those fields of trampled asphodel, where the high lords, whom Ilion knew so well, clash ghostly shields and call upon thy name. Where hast thou been in that enchanted land, whose slumbering vales forlorn Calypso knew? Where never mower rose at break of day, but all unswathed the trammeling grasses grew, and the sad shepherd saw the tall corn stand, till summer's red had changed to withered gray? Didst thou lie there by some Lethean stream, deep rooting on thine ancient memory, the crash of broken spears, the fiery gleam from shivered helm, the Grecian battle cry? Nay, thou wert hidden in that hollow hill with one who is forgotten utterly, that discrowned queen men call the Erisine, hidden away that never mightst thou see the face of her, before whose moldering shrine today at Rome the silent nations kneel, who gat from love no joyous gladdening, but only love's intolerable pain, only a sword to pierce her heart in twain, only the bitterness of childbearing. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.